Welcome to Between the Brushes Online. I'm Linda and I'm going to share with you some little color secrets that will help you with your painting. We're going to talk a lot about the complementary mixes and how those make your paintings just really pop and help you get the values you need to get the shadows to work. I'm going to start out though with just a basic color wheel. You probably remember this from elementary school, but there are three primary colors. We have yellow, red, and blue. Those are the primary colors. You cannot mix those colors. You have to have those colors. But if you have red, yellow, blue, and white, you can mix all the colors there are. Okay, so we're going to mix the complementary colors. We're going to mix the secondary colors. So when you mix yellow and red, you get orange. When you mix red and blue, you get purple. And blue and yellow, you'll get green. Now, it's important for us to know how to mix those colors and how to get to the complement from those colors, and I'm going to show you why. If you mix red, yellow, and blue, red, yellow, and blue, you're going to get brown. Now, it's very important for us to be able to get to the brown tint of the color because, for instance, this apple right here, this little painting of this apple, this brownish red is what makes the apple look round. It's what gives it volume. And then you've got the brownish yellow in the pear, and that makes the pear look round. It also, when you cast a shadow on it, you're going to have to dull that yellow. And I'm going to show you how to do that. We're going to do this little art math, and this will help you. So, if I'm doing a painting and I mix the complementary colors are opposite colors on the color wheel. So if I mix yellow and purple, let's see what we have. Yellow is a primary color, right? We didn't mix anything to get yellow, but purple is made from red and blue. So what I have here is yellow, red, and blue. Yellow, red, and blue. So I'm going to get brown. So when I painted this pear over here, I needed to get some brown into the yellow to make it look round. So I just added just a little bit of purple to the paint and got that. And we're going to do that in a minute so I can show you how to do it. Okay, let's try red plus green. So if I mix red with green, let's see what happens. Red is a primary color, right? We can't mix red, we have to have it. Green is yellow and blue. So what do we have? We have red, yellow, and blue again. So red, yellow, and blue make brown. So if I'm painting this apple and I want to make it create volume, I want it to have some shadows on it, and I want to tone it down and make it dull, I'm going to put a little bit of green in my red. Some people go, oh, you add black to the red. If you add black to your red, you're going to get a very dull painting. But if you add the complementary color, you get a nice rich painting. So that's what we're going to do there. So here we have, now let's see if it works for blue and orange. If I do blue plus orange, remember blue's a primary color. We can't mix it, we have to have it. Orange is red and yellow. So once again, we're going to get brown. Now you can use that a lot of times. I know when you're painting a boat and a boat's sitting on the water, you have that nice beautiful blue water all around the boat, but underneath the boat it needs to be in shadow. So you would add just a teeny bit of orange to your blue, and it will dull the blue and it'll make a nice shadow. And we're going to actually physically do that in just a minute. So this is art math. So we're finished with that part. Now, let's actually mix some colors so you can see how this works. But before we mix them, let's start out with just our basic color wheel. I'm going to start out, I just squirted out some oil paints. I'm doing this in oil. You can do it in acrylic, you can do it in watercolor, you can do it in colored pencil, pastel. Color is color, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm doing oil. I've got oil here, and I like Winton oils. These are Winton oils. I ordered them from Dick Blick, and they work really well for me. This in the middle is called Liquid. This is Liquid Original. With oil paint, you can't mix water with it because it'll resist the water, so you have to have a medium that'll make it move, and so I use Liquid Original. And then I use a little turpenoid to clean my brush. Okay, Now, if I'm going to do a color wheel, I've got to think, what is my lightest value on my palette? Value is between black and white, there are several values. Typically, people say there are about 10 values. I'm going to start with the lightest value because I don't want to have to use a lot of paint to create my color, and I'll show you what I mean. So yellow is my lightest value, so I'm going to put yellow at the top of my color wheel. Okay. Now, if I want to make orange, I'm going to add red, but look how much red I'm going to put in my, that's almost no red at all, and look how orange it's going to be. See how powerful that red is? Because red's a mid value, and it's stronger than my yellow. If I had started with red, I would have used a whole plate of yellow to make orange. So if I start with my yellow and just add a little bit, I can get my nice orange that way. Now I'm going to add more red, get a darker orange. Now, I can't get pure red. I keep getting an orangey red because I have orange in my brush. So I need to stop and I need to wash my brush and get that yellow out of my brush. I don't need to wash it super, super good. I just need to pull that yellow out. Okay, now I'm going to take my red paint and I'm going to bridge the color. And what I mean by that is I'm going to start over here and I'm going to go towards the orange because I want this to be pure red, and as I go towards I can keep my red. Okay, now let's start putting a little blue in there and see if we can get a nice purple. Now blue is even a darker value than red, so it's just going to take a little bit, and I'm going to put it in there and it's going to get a nice purple. And a little bit more, and a little bit more. Now, I'm not going to be able to get pure blue as long as I have that red in my brush, right? So I'm going to need to wash it out again. And now I'm going to bridge my blue towards it again. I'm going to take some blue. Now I've got purple on this side of my paint, so I'm going to pull over on this side. And I'll take my blue up here and I'm going to let it bridge into the purple. Now, as I'm going up here with blue, I'm going to start to make green. I'm going to start to add yellow. So I'm going to add a little bit of yellow. Make a nice green. A little bit more. And then a little more yellow. And I end up with a nice yellow-green. So here you have your color wheel. You have all your basic colors, and those are the colors that we're going to work with. Now, remember over here when we did the color wheel and we did our art map, we found that red, yellow, and blue made brown, and the complementary colors always made brown? Let's see if that's true. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out with red and green. So if I start with red, say I'm painting that apple and I'm painting it nice and red. And then I want to add just a little bit of green. Remember, green's a darker value than red, so I don't want to add as much. Add a little bit in there with my red. You see how I'm beginning to get that brown red? And that's how I would paint my shadow on my apple. Add more green. Now, as I'm adding more green, I'm getting this nice, beautiful, dark, dark green. Now that would really come in handy if I was painting a landscape, or if I was painting a tree or a bush. I would want it to be dark, dark green deep inside the bush, and then get lighter green as it comes out. Now I can't get my pure green because, once again, I have red in my brush, so I need to pull that out. And then I'm going to take my green again, and I'm going to bridge it down here, and I'm going to bring it up to this green. Can you see how this would be helpful if you were painting flowers, and the green on the flower, the green on the green part of the flower, the leaves? How you would do nice and dark up under your flowers, up deep in your under your leaves, and that's how we do it with the complementary colors there. Okay, now let's go over here. Let's try orange and blue. I'm getting that green out of my brush. I'm going to start with orange. Orange is the lighter value. That's why I chose to start with orange. If I started with blue, it would take a whole plate of orange to get back to brown. Okay, there's my orange. Here's my blue, which is very strong. Look how strong that is. That's so strong, I'm gonna go down this way with it. I'm gonna bring some more orange in up here because I don't want it to go dark that fast. Isn't that a beautiful brown? I love the brown that orange and blue makes. I think it's one of the prettiest ones. Okay, now I'm gonna add more blue. More blue. Now, my blue's dull because it has orange in it. So once again, I need to clean out my brush. I need to get that orange out of my brush because as long as the orange is in there, I'm not going to get a pure blue. I'm going to come back with my blue and I'm going to bridge it up. See that nice bright blue? Now, can you see the boat illustration? Your boat's floating in the water. Here's your beautiful water, and underneath the boat, you're just going to put a little bit of orange, and that's going to make your shadow. Okay, let's see if it works for yellow and purple. Okay, yellow is the lighter value, so I'm going to start with my yellow. Now purple's pretty intense, so I'm just going to put a little bit. It's actually probably the darkest value on this palette. There we go. See how the purple's making a nice brown? I'm going to start adding more purple. Now, my purple's dull. As long as I have yellow in my brush, I can't get a nice bright purple. So I'm going to wash the yellow out of my brush. We'll come back. Now I'm going to take some purple and bring it down here. I'm going to bring it up towards the dirty purple. And there we go. So if you're painting a lemon, this is what you would do. You paint your yellow, you put a little bit of purple. I did that with the pear, that yellow pear. I put a little bit of purple in it to make the brownish color, to create the volume. If you're painting an eggplant, isn't this interesting? You would put yellow in your purple to make that nice rich purple eggplant color. So yellow would dull that. So these are the complementary mixes. This is what they can do for your painting, and I hope you enjoy trying it. Play with color. You'll be glad you did.